So this will be a good one tomorrow, looks like, on Standing for Truth, the debate between Albie Al and Stacey Turnville. And it's going to be a good one. I don't agree with much of the Bible anymore, but if there is a case to be made from the Bible, the biblical Unitarian position makes the most sense. So, and Stacey used to be a oneness believer. I used to see him on Clubhouse, and actually he and I debated before, not one-to-one, but kind of in a group, and he saw the light and realized that oneness was not the truth. I think he used to be a Trinitarian and knew that was false. So he jumped into oneness, thinking that was probably more likely, and then saw the arguments that biblical Unitarians were making on Clubhouse and other places, and figured, wow, these are some really good arguments. And he jumped ship and he never looked back. So he's another ex-Trinitarian. Show up and give your support for either. I think the best thing to do, though, is, and I know people won't do it, especially in the Trinitarian camp, because they're so fragile in their doctrine. They really want to believe in the Trinity. They really want to believe that the Trinity is supported by the Bible. So they'll come up with the most ridiculous responses. Somebody even comes up with kind of something that's just really mysterious. They'll cheer the person on like they invented bread or something. It's like they're wanting to have their biases confirmed. And that's one of the problems that I have with Christianity and the Bible, is people are no longer truth seekers. They're wanting to confirm their own bias. So the same thing with biblical unis. Don't show up necessarily to confirm your own bias. I mean, we're all biased, but see if the other side makes more sense. And that's one thing that I've noticed within biblical unis, is they're more truth seeking. Okay, they care more about truth, and they would change their position. Trinitarians usually don't. That's why they're still Trinitarian. They're stuck in this, and they probably won't ever change. It says a lot when somebody is an ex-Trinitarian, they've gone from a oneness and then they're Unitarian, that it shows that they're willing to change. They're willing to adopt their belief system based upon evidence. But that usually does not happen in the Trinity, because they spend most of their time lying to themselves or trying to convince themselves that something's right by using these hints and riddles and clues and puzzles. And when you get to a point where you're just being silly and you're coming up with all kinds of silly little hints and what ifs and gotchas and do you see what I sees, you've lost the plot. You've lost the ability to use common sense, logic, and reasoning. You're coming up with every possible way that you can defend it. Okay, so you're not in truth anymore. And even if you found out that you were deceived, you would never find out, because you're convincing yourself of the craziest things. So I'll drop a link in the comment section to those people who want to watch the debate. I think it's going to be a great one. And Stacey's a cool cat. He's a straight shooter, and he brings it. And Albie is going to be on this typical mental gymnastics riddle fest. So that'll be funny to watch. Not to be disrespectful, but Albie and Sam Shimon are kind of buddy, and I think Albie wants to be like Sam. So he's not as rude as Sam, but I've had some discussions with Albie, and he can be pretty out there, So I think he's changed a lot, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I hope it's a good debate. I hope it's a formal, it's a respectful debate. I know Stacey will be respectful. I mean, as respectful as you can be with a Trinitarian that usually disrespects you, but it'll be a good one. So I don't know, many people don't probably even know about this debate. I haven't been following much of the debates because I get tired of them. It's the same thing, it's the same nonsense, right? So Stacey's gonna bring what he has, and Albie will be on the ropes as usual. So yeah, I'll put the link in the comment section, and hope you enjoy.